What's going on, everybody? Man, it's your boy Jay in the building. We back again with another video. And before we get this video started, man, I just want to say shout out to y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for the support. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, and share, and leave your thoughts, man. All right, so we got Texas Southern versus Jackson State. The battle of the two freshman quarterbacks. We got Andrew Body versus Shedeur Sanders. Now, I want to say this about Texas Southern. You know, this team has been struggling. You know, they're 3-5, but Andrew Body is the reason that they have 3 wins. You know, Andrew Body took over the team. Matter of fact, because he didn't even start the season. It was Jaylen Brown. So he didn't start a game this year until they played against Rice. And I think everybody was impressed, actually, that they put up 34 points on Rice. You know, and we all know that Rice is a decent team that played in Conference USA, right? So, you know, he's one of the 3 quarterbacks that has a 60% completion percentage in the conference. He's also third or 4th in the conference in passing yards. He leads his team in rushing. I think he's top 10 in rushing in the SWAC. He's number 1 amongst quarterbacks in rushing. So he is the end all be all for that team. And you know, for him to be a freshman when he wasn't highly anticipated, nor did he start the season at all, I think that's really, you know, kudos, and that speaks to a lot about his talent. Now, the downfall of their team, you know, of their season has been their defense. And they're going up against a Jackson State defense where they're number 1 in scoring defense, number 1 in rush defense, and number 1 in pass defense. And when you going up against a team that only gives up 13 points a game, you're gonna have yourself a long day, especially if the lone wolf on the team is the quarterback. And meanwhile, I do like Keelan Davis, but there's gonna be a point in time where he may get double covered. There's gonna be a point in time where they're gonna roll coverage to Keelan Davis, one of the safeties high. You know, I'm pretty sure their game plan is gonna stop Keelan Davis, to take Keelan Davis out the game, because they don't have much of a running team. Now, I would say for Texas Southern though, they are top 5 in both rushing and passing. Think they're number 3 in scoring. Now, ever since Andrew Body took over, they've put up 40 points a game. But they average 28 points a game. But I'm talking about ever since Andrew Body took over at quarterback, they average 40. You know, and as far as Shedeur Sanders, man, I went back and I watched the full game of Jackson State and Mississippi Valley State. And I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, I can say that there were a lot of blown calls that Valley State that the ref was holding for Valley State. But I do want to say this. Jackson State plays down to their team's level sometimes. Like, I've seen how they play versus Alabama A&M. And we've seen how they play versus Delta State and Valley State. Now, I will say this. Valley State, I give Valley State a lot more credit than, you know, than they really deserve. Like, I didn't think they was going to be in the game. So, I will say that. But I will say this too, though, that Jackson State has a tendency to play down to the level of their opponent. And I don't know if they are in film room and they're looking at that, but I do see a trend in that. Like, I've seen how they play versus UL Monroe, and I think they should have won that game. They shouldn't have been close versus Delta State. It shouldn't have been, I was surprised it was close versus Valley State, until the quarterback threw 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter. But I think what Jackson State has to do is to take this team, take Texas Southern more, a lot more seriously than they took Valley State. Because I'm gonna tell you this, Texas Southern can score points, regardless of how bad their defense is, and like just like Alabama A&M, their offense can put up points in bunches. The thing that will worry me is how much points is Texas Southern gonna give up. Like I think that would worry me if I'm Texas Southern. If I'm Andrew Body, because I think Andrew Body is a real good player. He's a ball player. And I'll say this too. If they can get some help on defense, Andrew Body and Shedeur Sanders could be a battle for the next 2 or 3 years. Like, Andrew Body is like, he's a ball player. I don't know what year Keelan Davis is, but I hope for Andrew Body's sake that he's a junior or a sophomore, because he's a ball player too. I think Keelan Davis is, I don't know if I said this, but he's second in the SWAC in receiving yards. He's top 5 in receptions, and he's second in yards per game. But the thing about that is, Andrew Body, I think he only has 5 touchdown passes. Yeah, I think 5 or 6 touchdown passes. But, I hope Jackson State don't sleep on Texas Southern, because I'm not. Now, I will say this too, like, I'm going to be consistent in my point though. Jackson State offense is top 5 in both scoring, passing, and not so much as rushing. I think they're at the bottom when it comes to rushing. But Texas Southern on defense is at the bottom in rush defense. So that may cancel each other out. But Jackson State is top 3 in passing yards. Meanwhile, Texas Southern is second to last. So that gonna play a huge part, because they give up almost 250 yards passing per game. So I think, me personally, I think Shedeur Sanders should have a field day. And I didn't take this into consideration. Mississippi Valley State is top 5 in passing defense. Well, in rush defense, both rushing and passing. They're top 5. I didn't take that into consideration. So I had to look back at Texas Southern to see where they are, and they're at the bottom in everything on defense. I think they have their player with the highest tackle total is below 50 in 7 to 8 games, which means that they don't have a lot of guys who are getting to the ball often, which also means they're giving up a lot of points. So I think Shedeur Sanders and Jackson State are going to put up some points. I think Andrew Body is going to put up some points too. I think what it's going to come down to is, can Texas Southern get enough stops to help out Andrew Body? Because they're not going to do it with just him alone. Now, this is going to be the first time that they're going up against a real dual threat quarterback. Because, this is going to be the first time this year that they go up against a real dual threat quarterback. I'm talking about a quarterback that could actually run. Florida A&M, McKay, he's not a runner. Hickbottom for Tennessee State, I don't see, he's not as good of a runner as Andrew Body is. he can run, but he's not the runner that Body is. And Andrew Body is coming off of is coming off of him being the top freshman for the week. Like he's National Freshman of the Week, both nationally and in the SWAC. So he had himself a real good game last week. So I think that it's gonna be a battle between those two. I think they're both gonna put up points, but I think Jackson State is gonna put up more points. I think Jackson State is gonna be in the 40s. I also think that Texas Southern is gonna put up at least 20 points. I'm gonna say 24 points, just because I believe that Andrew Body has that kind of ability. I think it's gonna be 42 to 20. Matter of fact, 42-28. I gotta be 42-28. So I would think that Texas Southern come to play. I hope that Jackson State come to play, because Texas Southern ain't a bad team offensively. They're not bad. So I hope they get that. I hope they get it together. I really hope they do.